Well, hello and welcome back to Only the Truth, a true crime podcast hosted by me, Maureen Meehan. And today we are going to discuss and focus on the first novel I created. Started writing it back in 1997. Didn't finish it for years because I had to really learn how to craft fiction as a lawyer at the time. But Dying to Ski, a Mary MacIntosh novel. I will begin by reading a few of the reviews that we have received over the years on Dying to Ski. This is by Parias, called A Chilling Legal Thriller on the Slopes. In this captivating introduction into the Mary MacIntosh series, Meehan constructs a multifaceted legal thriller amidst the stunning landscapes of Jackson Hole, Wyoming. The plot focuses on defense attorney Mary MacIntosh as she represents Michael O'Connor, a pharmaceutical entrepreneur charged with the murder of his business partner on the slopes. A tragic incident swiftly transforms into a complex web of lies upon the revelation of an intentional poisoning through tox reports that indicate that her client, Michael, may not be innocent. Meehan's inaugural entry into the Mary MacIntosh series showcases her expertise in gripping narrative and legal protocol. The narrative skillfully examines the ambitious realms of loyalty and betrayal while balancing legal strategies and personal intrigue. As Mac uncovers layers of deception involving secret romances and mysterious deaths, readers will question everyone's motives right up to the satisfying conclusion. This is highly recommended. Next, we have Michael Cavani, who recently reviewed this, calling it Mountains, Mystery, and Murder, earlier this month. Dying to Ski, a Mary MacIntosh novel by Maureen and Meehan, is a tale of mystery and danger set against the breathtaking backdrop of Jackson Hole, Wyoming. The story begins with a bang as Michael O'Connor, the co-founder of a pharmaceutical giant, finds himself accused of murder of his business partner, Preston Parker. Enter Mary MacIntosh, a tenacious defense attorney with a reputation for taking on the toughest of cases. Hired to prove Michael's innocence, Mac faces seemingly insurmountable challenges when an autopsy reveals that Preston was intentionally poisoned. As Mac delves deeper into the case, she uncovers a web of secrets, lies, and hidden motives. One of the standout features of this novel is the complex character development. Mac is a relatable and compelling protagonist whose determination and courage drive the story forward. Her investigation uncovers shocking revelations, including Michael's secret love for Preston's wife and the mysterious death of Michael's own first wife years earlier. These twists and turns keep readers on the edge of their seats, eagerly turning the pages to see what happens next. Meehan's writing style is engaging and vivid, transporting readers to the snow-covered slopes of Jackson Hole. The picturesque setting contrasts sharply with the dark and dangerous plot, creating a unique atmosphere that adds to the depth of this story. The intricate relationships and high stakes make for an unforgettable reading experience. Highly recommended. Next is by Megan Brame, who reviewed it earlier again this month. Maureen and Meehan's Dying to Ski introduces readers to Mary MacIntosh, a formidable defense attorney whose first case plunges her into a deadly game of deceit. When a pharmaceutical tycoon is accused of murdering his business partner on the slopes of Jackson Hole, we begin an adventurous ride. The pacing is quick without feeling rushed, and when you think you figured it out, another twist hits you. I love how the author mixed courtroom drama with real emotional depth, especially Mac's struggles. There's also a subtle romance tension between Mac and Greg, a journalist covering the case, but it never overshadows the main plot, which I love as a thriller fan. It adds a nice layer to her character. What stood out to me was the setting. The snowy slopes of Jackson Hole create the perfect backdrop of this chilling story. The author does an amazing job of making you feel like you're right there. From the courtroom to the ski trails, it's a story that keeps you guessing until the end, and I couldn't put it down. If you're a fan of The Lincoln Lawyer or Big Little Lies, this one is for you. A 5-star read for me. There's many other reviews that I could go through, but I'm going to pivot to the book. So here is Dying to Ski, a Mary MacIntosh novel by me. And I'm going to read you the opening scene of this story because I think it's pretty gripping. This is their Mac and her partner, Harry, are trying to interview their client. This is what Mac started with. What was the last thing you said to Preston before he died? I asked Michael O'Connor, our firm's newest client. Michael looked away and started rocking back and forth in his mother's rocking chair. His sandy blonde hair was getting wavier each time he swept his right hand through it. Your arraignment hearing is tomorrow, I reminded him, trying to push the words out of his mouth. Answer her, Michael's mother ordered, as if he were still a little boy. I don't remember my exact words, Michael said, almost defiantly. Harry, the senior partner of our firm, stood and reached for his coat. Michael obviously got the message. We were arguing about business, all right? But it was no big deal. We argue about business all the time. Let me explain this to you, Harry said, setting his gray pinstripe Massimo Bizzocco suit jacket back down. The grand jury must have had enough evidence to indict you for Preston's murder, so it's now time for you to come clean. Let's start by where you were, what was said, and how you said it. Now we will pivot on, talking a little bit about one of the next scenes. The morning headlines were direct. New York Times, O'Connor's arraignment for Geyser's partner murder, and Boston Herald said, Geyser stock plummets over murder charges. The local paper included a headline, Mac feared most. O'Connor's attorney sexually assaulted. As Harry and I flanked our most famous client, Michael O'Connor, the reporters flogged us on our way into the courthouse. Next, we pivot toward the prosecuting attorney, who Mary MacIntosh does not adore, put it that way. His name is Christopher Bain, and he thinks he's all that in a bag of chips. I will foreshadow it by saying that Bain and Mac have one of those relationships where formidable opponent for sure, but she doesn't care for his style or his lack of ethics. Now we pivot into the book where Michael O'Connor may or may not be having an affair with Preston, the murder victim's wife, Kelly. He and Kelly went to law school together. They're fast friends, but it may be a little deeper and darker than that. Mac asks him, how did you and Kelly meet? Our fathers met at Harvard Medical School, and after finishing medical school, my dad set up a medical practice in Buffalo, Wyoming, and his dad established his medical practice in Jackson Hole. We got together for holidays and learned to ski together, that sort of thing. So that is his relationship with his lover in the story, and it turns out, adding a little depth of character and layer to this, is that Michael's first wife died of mysterious circumstances, his only wife, and she and her name was Brianna, and Kelly were best friends. So it's a tangled web of people here. So switching gears, Mac discovers that Preston, the murder victim, was having an affair in Bali, Indonesia. And Mac has to go to Bali to try to uncover who this woman is and what her role is in this murders. Mac is in a taxi in Bali. Her driver's name is Batur. Batur appeared to be enjoying himself. I, on the other hand, feared for my life. We followed Naomi, which was Preston's secret lover, through Ubud and headed north on a winding road. Luckily, since it was a two-way road, we couldn't pass any cars and were able to stay on track, but we raced through a town called Tampas Spring, continued north until we dead-ended into Bali Aga village. Suddenly, I watched Naomi jump out of her car, hailed a small motorboat, and escaped across the lake. So we are now from the ski slopes of Jackson Hole to Bali, Indonesia, and back. And as we are rounding the corner in the courtroom, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my name is Christopher Bain, and I represent the people of the state of Wyoming. You have been chosen and empowered to decide the fate of this man, Michael O'Connor, the defendant, who has been indicted and charged with the murder of Preston Parker. The evidence presented to you during this trial will show that Michael O'Connor met the deceased in college at Harvard University in Boston, Massachusetts. They were college roommates. After college, they became business partners, and they formed the pharmaceutical company called Geyser. Goes on to explain the relationship between Michael and Preston in the courtroom drama. That setting that I think is, being that I'm a trial lawyer, I think it stands out. Toward the end, "What say you?" Judge Firmer asked. The forewoman placed her reading glasses on her nose and stood, looking at the sheet of paper in her hand. She unfolded the verdict sheet and glanced at Michael over the top of her glasses. In the case of the state of Wyoming versus Michael O'Connor, case number WC000599, we, the jury, find the defendant, ... You'll have to read it to see how it ends. Lots of plot twists and turns along the way, as you saw from some of the reviews. And I welcome you to enjoy Dying to Ski, a Mary MacIntosh novel. You don't have to love to ski to love this book. You just need to love legal thrillers, courtroom drama, beautiful scenery, and a thrilling story. All right, stay tuned for the next time. We were going to start from the beginning of Dying to Ski. Our next Mary MacIntosh novel was the second one published, called Snake River Secret, a Mary MacIntosh novel, also based in Jackson Hole. All right, looking forward to our next time on Only the Truth. True crime. You can't make it up. Thank you.